Islam in Brazil has a long history, even though the Muslim community in the country is a minority. The development of Islam in Brazil, especially during the month of Ramadan, illustrates how Muslims there maintain their traditions while integrating with the local culture. To this day, the Muslim community in Brazil consists of various groups, from descendants of Arab immigrants to some native Brazilians who converted to Islam after receiving the teachings of the faith. Ramadan is a sacred month for Muslims, requiring them to fast from dawn until sunset. Although Brazil is not a country with a Muslim majority, the month of Ramadan is still celebrated with great enthusiasm by the Muslim community there. Here are some important aspects of the development of Islam in Brazil during Ramadan. During Ramadan, many mosques in Brazil organize various religious activities, such as Tarawih prayers, Islamic studies, and communal iftar, breaking of the fast. The Muslim community in Brazil often invites non-Muslim friends to experience the Ramadan atmosphere and share meals during iftar, which also serves as an opportunity to introduce Islamic culture to a wider audience. Ramadan is also a month for increasing charity and giving to those in need. The Muslim community in Brazil often organizes food distribution programs for the poor and needy. This is an important form of social solidarity, considering that some regions in Brazil have relatively high poverty rates. During Ramadan, there is a greater effort from the Muslim community to educate non-Muslim society about the meaning and practice of fasting. Many mosques in Brazil hold educational programs, where Muslims invite people from different backgrounds to learn about Ramadan, fasting, and the spiritual life of Muslims. As time goes on, Muslims in Brazil have begun to adapt some local cultural elements in their Ramadan celebrations. Brazilian dishes, such as feijoada, or local sweets, are often adjusted to fit fasting practices, and iftar events are often held in a more inclusive atmosphere. In some areas, Ramadan celebrations also involve various ethnic groups, making it a multicultural event. In the digital age, many Muslim communities in Brazil use social media to celebrate Ramadan. Through platforms like Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, they can share their Ramadan experiences, spread knowledge about Islam, and host online events such as lectures or discussions on topics related to Ramadan. Mosques in Brazil, such as the Mosque of São Paulo and the Mosque of Rio de Janeiro, play a very important role in maintaining the sanctity in celebrating Ramadan. They are not only places of worship but also community centers, where Muslims can support each other in fasting and dealing with everyday life challenges. Although the Muslim community in Brazil is growing and developing, they still face challenges. One of these is the lack of deep understanding of Islam among the majority of the population, which sometimes leads to stereotypes and misunderstandings. Therefore, Ramadan is a very good opportunity to introduce and explain the meaning of Islamic teachings to Brazilian society, reduce tensions, and promote interfaith tolerance. However, the prospects for Islam in Brazil look quite bright, as more and more Brazilians are interested in learning about Islam either through social media, education, or direct interaction with the Muslim community. Ramadan becomes an important moment to build interfaith dialogue and strengthen the relationship between Muslims and the wider Brazilian society. The development of Islam in Brazil during Ramadan reflects the efforts of the Muslim community there to maintain their religious traditions while contributing to the social and cultural life of Brazil. Although still a minority, Muslims in Brazil are increasingly recognized, and Ramadan becomes an opportunity for them to introduce Islamic teachings further to the non-Muslim community. With the increase in religious, social, and educational activities, Islam in Brazil continues to grow with a spirit of tolerance and cultural diversity. The life of a Muslim during the fasting month, Ramadan, is filled with worship, spiritual reflection, and social activities that enhance religious awareness and closeness to Allah. Ramadan is a very special month for Muslims, as besides fasting, many activities are carried out to deepen faith and increase acts of worship. Fasting is the main act of worship performed by Muslims during the month of Ramadan. A Muslim fasts from dawn, far, until sunset, Maghrib, meaning they do not eat, drink, smoke, or engage in sexual activity during this time. Fasting is a form of self-control, patience, and sacrifice, as well as a way to feel the suffering of the less fortunate poor. Fasting begins with eating suhoor before dawn. Suhoor is the food or drink consumed before the far call to prayer to provide energy throughout the fast. Fasting is broken after sunset with iftar. It usually starts with eating dates and drinking water, in accordance with the sunnah of Prophet Muhammad, followed by a full meal. During Ramadan, Muslims increase their acts of prayer, especially the night prayer or Taraweeh. Taraweeh is a voluntary prayer performed after the Isha prayer, with a varying number of rak'ahs, usually 8 or 20, depending on local traditions. In addition to the 5 obligatory daily prayers, Muslims strive to perform sunnah rawatib prayers, voluntary prayers performed before or after obligatory prayers, and increase their recitation of supplications and dhikr, remembrance of Allah. Every night, many Muslims gather at mosques to perform Taraweeh prayers in congregation. This becomes an important moment to strengthen the bond within the Muslim community. Ramadan is the month in which the Qur'an was revealed, so Muslims strive to read and memorize the Qur'an more during this month. Many people try to complete the entire reading of the Qur'an in the 30 days of Ramadan by reading one juz each day. This activity also enhances their understanding of Islamic teachings and brings them closer to Allah. One of the main pillars of Islam is charity, and Ramadan is the most recommended time to do good deeds. Muslims are strongly encouraged to give zakat, the obligation to give charity for those who are able, and other forms of charity, especially to the poor and those in need. Zakat al-Fitr is a form of zakat that must be paid by every Muslim before Eid al-Fitr as a means of purification and helping the less fortunate so they can also celebrate the holiday in a dignified manner. In addition to zakat, Muslims are also highly encouraged to give charity throughout the month of Ramadan to help those in need and increase their acts of continuous charity, sadaqah jariyah. During Ramadan, Muslims strive to focus more on worship and prayer. They take advantage of the nights to make supplications to Allah, praying for forgiveness, mercy, and guidance. One particularly special night is Laylat al-Qadr, the night full of blessings and better than 1,000 months, believed to occur on one of the last 10 nights of Ramadan. Ramadan is not only about individual worship but also about strengthening social and family relationships. Breaking fast together with family, having suhoor together, and sharing food with neighbors or those in need are traditions highly valued. During Ramadan, many people invite friends, family, or even those in need to break their fast together. It is an opportunity to strengthen ties and show concern for others. Throughout the month of Ramadan, many Muslim families use this time to gather and share quality moments. It is a very special time to strengthen relationships within the family. Fasting for 30 consecutive days in hot weather or during long days can be a challenge. However, Ramadan is a time to train patience, physical and mental endurance, and remind oneself to always be grateful for the blessings given by Allah. Fasting in hot weather or when the fasting hours are very long, especially in countries closer to the North or South Poles. As the end of Ramadan approaches, Muslims begin preparing for the celebration of Eid al-Fitr, which marks the end of the fasting month. Overall, Ramadan is a month to enhance the quality of worship and increase activities that bring one closer to Allah. Fasting, prayer, reading the Qur'an, and giving charity are ways to purify the heart and soul, as well as attain Allah's pleasure. The life of a Muslim during the month of Ramadan is about self-control, increasing worship, doing good deeds, and strengthening social relationships. It is a time for spiritual reflection, introspection, and awareness of the blessings in life. Ramadan is an opportunity to purify the heart, enhance piety, and attain inner peace and happiness by drawing closer to Allah. Indeed, many people decide to embrace Islam or become more interested in learning about the religion during the month of Ramadan. There are several factors that make this holy month a time of blessings and often a moment for someone to accept Islam. Ramadan is a month full of blessings and forgiveness, believed by Muslims to be a very special time. Many people experience deep inner peace during Ramadan, especially when they see how Muslims observe fasting and increase their worship. The spiritual beauty of this month often attracts people to learn more about Islam and even decide to embrace it. During the month of Ramadan, Muslims focus more on worship, praying, reading the Qur'an, and performing their rituals with greater devotion. This experience can be very inspiring for those seeking meaning in life and inner peace. When they witness the depth of faith and sincerity in the worship of Muslims, some people feel called to embrace the religion. Ramadan raises religious awareness worldwide. Many Islamic outreach and teaching programs are more active during this month. In many places, mosques hold study sessions on the meaning of fasting, Islam, and life after death. These activities often attract people who want to learn more about Islam and eventually decide to become Muslim. Fasting in Islam is not just about abstaining from eating and drinking but also about self-control and patience. This experience often inspires people to delve deeper into the teachings of Islam, which emphasizes the importance of discipline, humility, and caring for the poor and less fortunate. Some people feel that through this experience, they can draw closer to Allah and experience the spiritual peace they have been seeking. Many Muslim communities around the world are very open and welcoming to people from different backgrounds, especially during Ramadan. Iftar gatherings, charitable activities, and social events are often held to invite non-Muslims to experience Ramadan. This gives those unfamiliar with Islam an opportunity to see firsthand how Muslims worship and interact with one another, ultimately opening the door for Dawah, Islamic outreach. In Islam, good examples or role models are very important. Many people are drawn to the lifestyle of Muslims during Ramadan, which prioritizes values such as simplicity, patience, togetherness, and generosity. Seeing Muslims sincerely striving to perform their worship can leave a profound impression and be a motivating factor for someone to embrace Islam. Laylat al-Qadr, which is believed to occur during the last 10 nights of Ramadan, is a blessed night when prayers are answered, and worship is rewarded manifold. For some new converts to Islam, this night can be a deeply spiritual experience that strengthens their faith in Islam. In the digital age, much information about Islam is available online, whether through Dawah videos, articles, or social media. Many people become interested in learning about Islam during Ramadan because they can access information more easily through various platforms. Videos about Ramadan, fasting, and the positive lives of Muslims often capture people's attention, leading them to learn more, which can eventually result in their decision to embrace Islam. Ramadan creates a positive atmosphere in many Muslim communities worldwide. Many people experience changes within themselves, such as increased inner peace, gratitude, and a sense of togetherness. When non-Muslims see these positive changes in the lives of Muslims around them, they may feel inspired to join in this spiritual journey. The month of Ramadan is a time of blessings and forgiveness that has a significant impact on Muslims, and for some, it is an inspiring time to embrace Islam. Many people are inspired by the sincerity, patience, and peace they witness in the lives of Muslims during the fasting month. The development of Muslim life in India during the month of Ramadan has its own unique characteristics, rich in tradition, culture, and religion. India, with its large Muslim population, is one of the countries with the largest Muslim communities in the world. Ramadan in India is filled with religious and social activities that strengthen the bonds among Muslims, both locally and nationally. Here are some aspects of the development of Muslim life in India during Ramadan. Religious activities and worship. Fasting. Like Muslims around the world, Muslims in India observe fasting during the month of Ramadan. In the early morning, they have sahur before dawn, and break their fast after sunset. Many consume traditional foods such as dates, bread, or biryani when breaking their fast. Tarawih prayers, performed at night, are a very strong tradition in mosques across India. During Ramadan, mosques in major cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Lucknow, and Hyderabad become very crowded with worshippers attending this congregational prayer. Quran Kwani, reciting the Quran together, or Quran Kwani, is a highly popular activity. Many mosques organize this event to enhance religious knowledge and strengthen social ties among Muslims. Social and philanthropic activities. Iftar together. One of the strongest traditions in India is the iftar gathering, where families, friends, and neighbors come together. This is not only a time to gather but also an opportunity to share food with those in need. Charity and almsgiving. Many Muslims in India increased their charitable acts during Ramadan. This includes giving alms, helping the poor, and donating food or money to orphanages and hospitals. Ramadan in India also sees many free iftar programs organized in mosques and public places to help those in need. Food distribution and iftar. In major cities like Delhi, Mumbai, and Kolkata, food distribution for breaking the fast is a significant activity. Local Muslim organizations often organize such events, which involve distributing food to the less fortunate. Cultural and traditional activities. Special Ramadan foods. The traditional foods of Ramadan in India are diverse, reflecting the cultural and culinary diversity of the country. Some of the popular foods during Ramadan include samosas, pakoras, chana chaat, and various types of kebabs. Biryani is also a popular dish, especially in Hyderabad and Lucknow. Ramadan markets. During Ramadan, markets in various cities across India become livelier with vendors selling traditional foods, clothing, and religious items. One famous Ramadan market is near Jama Masjid in Delhi, which becomes a gathering place for Muslims from all walks of life. Role of media and technology. Social media and information sharing. In today's digital age, social media plays a significant role in spreading information about Ramadan activities. Many mosques, religious schools, and Muslim organizations use platforms like Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook to share prayer schedules, daily supplications, and announcements about iftar gatherings. Religious programs on television. Many Indian television channels broadcast special Ramadan programs, including religious lectures, dramas, and documentaries about Islam. Television channels also air prayers and other religious programs to support Muslims in their worship during Ramadan. Social challenges and issues. Social polarization. Although Ramadan is a time for worship and strengthening brotherhood, Muslims in India often face social and political challenges. Tensions between social groups, discrimination, and injustice remain relevant issues. At times, this complicates the daily life of Muslims, particularly in practicing Ramadan freely and peacefully. Economic issues. For some Muslim families in India, Ramadan is also an economically challenging time, as they need to adjust their spending for food and daily needs during fasting. Many rely on support from mosques or social organizations during this month. Increased religious awareness and education. Religious learning. During Ramadan, many Muslims deepen their religious knowledge by attending Qur'an interpretation classes or listening to religious lectures. This increases spiritual awareness and knowledge of Islamic teachings. Lectures and religious talks. Lectures and religious talks in mosques become very popular during Ramadan, where scholars explain the meaning and wisdom of fasting and provide ways to increase piety. With all the traditions, challenges, and developments, Ramadan in India remains a meaningful month, where Muslims strengthen their religious, social, and cultural ties. Indeed, the month of Ramadan has an extraordinary impact in attracting the attention of many people, including those who previously followed other religions, to embrace Islam. There are several factors that make Ramadan an important moment for many people to convert to Islam, both in India and in various parts of the world. Here are some reasons why this phenomenon can happen. Harmony and peace in worship. Deep spirituality. During Ramadan, Muslims globally show a high commitment to worship, such as fasting, performing Taraweeh prayers, and reciting the Qur'an. Many people from other religious backgrounds are impressed by this depth of spirituality. They can see how Muslims maintain their relationship with God and share happiness with others. A life full of peace. Ramadan is often considered a month of peace and enlightenment. The simplicity of life, the desire to draw closer to Allah, and the increase in social solidarity can inspire people to seek deeper peace in the Islamic faith. Desire to understand Islam more closely. Increased interest in learning. many people are interested in Islam during Ramadan because it offers an opportunity to understand the teachings of Islam more deeply, either through interactions with Muslims around them, religious lectures, or books about Islam. This curiosity often leads to a decision to embrace Islam after gaining a better understanding. Friendly and open nature of Muslims, Ramadan often becomes a time when it's easier to discuss Islam, and Muslims tend to be more open in explaining their beliefs. This provides an opportunity for non-Muslims to get to know Islam more intimately. An environment that encourages change. Iftar events. Many Muslim communities in various countries, including India, invite people from different religious backgrounds to join iftar events. This becomes an opportunity for many who have not yet encountered Islam to experience the spirit of togetherness and Islamic values such as love, sharing, and empathy. Influence of friends or family. Some people who may have friends or family members who are fasting and celebrating Ramadan may feel curious to understand the reasons behind this act of worship. The desire to know more and social interactions often open the way for someone to become more interested in Islam. Openness to spiritual change. A moment of reflection and transformation, Ramadan is a time for Muslims to engage in deep spiritual reflection. For those who were not born Muslim, this holy month can become an opportunity to rethink their life's path and seek a deeper spiritual meaning. The desire for self-improvement or to find inner peace often leads someone to Islam. Changes in lifestyle, following the fast, maintaining good behavior, and living a simpler life that focuses more on spiritual values during Ramadan can attract those who seek a more meaningful way of life. This process often leads to questions about religion and eventually makes someone interested in embracing Islam. Dawah programs. In various places, especially through Islamic organizations, there are Dawah, Islamic outreach, programs specifically organized during Ramadan to explain Islamic teachings to the general public. This gives many people the chance to ask questions about Islam and learn more, which ultimately makes them interested in becoming Muslims. Togetherness and social solidarity. Social and philanthropic actions. During Ramadan, many Muslims increase their social activities, such as providing aid to the needy and sharing food with the poor. This caring attitude can leave a deep impression on people from other religions about the goodness in Islam and become a motivating factor for them to embrace the religion. Tolerance and interfaith dialogue. Interfaith dialogue. Ramadan is also often a time for interfaith dialogue. Open discussions held between Muslims and non-Muslims can help eliminate misunderstandings and open opportunities for many people to understand Islam in a more objective and peaceful way. Through these various factors, Ramadan becomes a highly potent month to attract the attention of people who are looking for spiritual peace and a deeper understanding of Islam. Therefore, it is not uncommon to hear stories of many people who ultimately embraced Islam after experiencing Ramadan and witnessing firsthand how Muslims perform their worship with dedication. During the month of Ramadan, Muslims and converts, people who have recently embraced Islam, at the workplace face several challenges and changes in their routines. However, many companies and workplaces strive to support their Muslim and convert employees in various ways to ensure they can observe fasting properly. Here are some things that happen at the workplace during the month of Ramadan. Maintaining the fast while working normally. Adjusting work hours. Some companies offer flexibility for Muslim employees to adjust their working hours, especially if they work night shifts or need to wake up early for sahur. Some workplaces may allow them to come in a bit later or leave earlier to give them more time for worship and rest. Break time adjustments. At some workplaces, break times may be extended, especially during iftar. This gives Muslims a chance to break their fast peacefully and perform the Maghrib prayer. Flexibility for prayers. Providing time for prayers. Many workplaces provide a special prayer space, mashallah or prayer room, for Muslim employees. This allows them to perform the 5 daily prayers, especially Maghrib, Isha, and Taraweeh prayers, which often fall during or after working hours. Time for Taraweeh prayers. For those who wish to perform Taraweeh prayers, some companies or offices allow employees to leave earlier or adjust their working hours to attend congregational prayers at the mosque. Understanding physical conditions. Respecting fatigue and energy needs, many co-workers and managers understand that during fasting, Muslim and convert employees may feel more tired or low on energy because they are fasting all day. Some companies adjust workloads, allowing employees to avoid heavy tasks or physically intensive work. Maintaining patience and focus, for some converts, fasting at work can be both a physical and emotional challenge, especially when they have to endure hunger and thirst amidst a busy routine. More experienced colleagues often provide moral support to help them remain motivated while fasting. Allocating time for sahur and iftar. Sahur at the workplace. Some employees may choose to have sahur at the office if it is far from home or if sahur is very early. Some offices even provide a simple sahur breakfast for employees who come early or work night shifts. Iftar together. The tradition of having iftar together at the workplace is becoming increasingly popular in many companies. This can be a time to strengthen bonds among co-workers, where non-Muslim co-workers can also share in the moment of togetherness with those who are fasting. Some companies or departments may hold iftar gatherings outside the office or provide meals for Muslim employees to break their fast. Challenges for converts. Adapting to fasting worship. For converts who have recently embraced Islam, Ramadan can be a particular challenge as they must adapt to various aspects of Islamic life, including fasting. Some converts may need support from their Muslim co-workers, both in understanding fasting practices, how to perform worship properly, and adjusting their eating habits. Socialization and social integration. At some workplaces, co-workers who have been Muslim for longer may offer social support to converts by inviting them for iftar, informing them about the importance of prayer, or guiding them on how to fast correctly. Respecting differences and tolerance. Respecting religious practices. Many companies are aware of the importance of diversity in the workplace and strive to create an inclusive and tolerant environment. They may provide information about Ramadan to non-Muslim co-workers so that they better understand the needs of Muslim employees during fasting, such as meal scheduling or work hours. Not disrupting the fast. In the workplace, it is important to respect fasting employees by not inviting them to eat or drink in front of them. Some companies remind co-workers to be more sensitive to this condition so that fasting employees can feel comfortable during working hours. Management support. Workplace environment adjustments. Some companies pay attention to the physical environment of the workplace by adjusting the temperature or lighting to make it more comfortable for those fasting, especially during hot summer months. Providing water or beverages in designated areas after iftar or reducing the intensity of physical work can help employees manage fasting better. Awareness and training. In large or multinational companies, training or awareness sessions are often held for all employees about the importance of respecting diversity and beliefs, including fasting during Ramadan. The goal is to build understanding and respect for the rights of Muslim or convert employees. Challenges for non-Muslims at the workplace. Maintaining relationships with co-workers. Although they are not fasting, many non-Muslim co-workers wish to show empathy and understanding toward their fasting colleagues. Some may learn about Ramadan and how they can support their Muslim co-workers without disrupting their fast. Social activity differences. Some non-Muslims may feel unsure about how to continue socializing or having lunch with their Muslim co-workers. This can be an opportunity to foster better relationships and mutual respect. Ramadan at the workplace can run smoothly if there is good communication between employees, management, and co-workers. With respect for fasting practices and an understanding of the challenges faced by Muslims, many companies create a supportive environment, including flexible working hours, prayer spaces, and social events like iftar gatherings. For converts, social support from Muslim co-workers can be very helpful in adjusting to their new life during Ramadan. The life of Muslims and converts, Mu'allaf, in Japan during the month of Ramadan has a unique atmosphere because the majority of the population in Japan is not Muslim. However, despite this, the Muslim community in Japan, both longtime followers of Islam and recent converts, continue to observe fasting and various religious activities during Ramadan with great enthusiasm. Japan has a relatively small Muslim population, estimated at around 100,000 to 200,000 people. The majority of Muslims in Japan are immigrants, particularly from countries such as Indonesia, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and the Middle East. However, in recent years, the number of mu'allaf, Japanese people who have converted to Islam, has also been increasing. During Ramadan, Muslims in Japan fast just like in other countries. Although the challenges are different due to cultural and weather differences, many still diligently maintain their religious practices. In major cities like Tokyo, Osaka, and Kyoto, mosques serve as centers for worship and places to break the fast. Some of the challenges Muslims in Japan face during Ramadan include long fasting hours. The fasting hours in Japan can be quite long, especially in the summer. For instance, during Ramadan in the summer, fasting hours can extend to 16 to 17 hours. This presents a particular challenge for Muslims who work or are active outside. Limited halal facilities. There aren't many restaurants offering halal food in Japan, although there are some halal restaurants in major cities. During Ramadan, many Muslims in Japan choose to cook halal food at home or break their fast at mosques that provide food for congregants. Socializing with non-Muslims. Since the majority of the population in Japan is not Muslim, daily life often doesn't focus on celebrating Ramadan. Japanese Muslims often explain to their non-Muslim friends what Ramadan is, why they fast, and the significance behind it. Activities at mosques and the Muslim community. Mosques in Japan become hubs for Muslim activities during Ramadan. Muslims gather there to perform the Tarawih prayers after Isha prayers and to break their fast together. Despite some challenges related to language and culture, these mosques are often very welcoming places for mu'allaf and those who have recently embraced Islam. During Ramadan, some mosques also organize communal iftar, breaking a fast, events that are open to the public, providing an opportunity for mu'allaf to interact with other Muslims and share experiences. Some mosques also provide free halal food for those in need. Mu'allaf in Japan, a spiritual journey with challenges. For many mu'allaf in Japan, embracing Islam is a spiritual journey filled with challenges, especially since they have to make significant changes in their daily lives, including in terms of food, worship, and social relationships. Ramadan, as one of the pillars of Islam, becomes a profound experience for them. The adaptation process for mu'allaf in their new life as Muslims often involves extensive learning, such as understanding fasting, prayer, and reciting prayers in Arabic. Although there are challenges, many mu'allaf feel blessed by the support they receive from the Muslim community in Japan. Some mu'allaf even express that the experience of breaking their fast and worshipping during Ramadan further strengthens their faith. The role of the Muslim community in supporting mu'allaf. The Muslim community in Japan plays a crucial role in supporting mu'allaf, especially during Ramadan. Many Muslim organizations organize classes for mu'allaf that cover the basics of the religion, Arabic language, and Islamic customs and traditions. Some mosques also have special programs for mu'allaf, which include providing food for iftar and opportunities to learn more about Islamic teachings. The perspective of non-Muslims on Ramadan. Although Ramadan is not widely known in Japan, many non-Muslims are interested in learning more about this holy month. Some Japanese people who are interested in Islamic culture may visit mosques to observe how Muslims perform their worship. Some mosques in Japan also host open events to introduce Ramadan to the local community, including activities like communal iftar gatherings involving the wider public. The life of Muslims and converts, mu'allaf, in the workplace in Japan, especially during the month of Ramadan, often presents certain challenges, considering Japan is a predominantly non-Muslim country. However, many Muslims and mu'allaf successfully navigate their professional lives by blending Islamic values with Japanese work culture. Here are some aspects that depict their workplace experience. Long fasting hours. One of the main challenges for Muslims and mu'allaf in Japan is the long fasting hours, especially when Ramadan falls in the summer. Fasting hours can reach 16 to 17 hours, meaning they must abstain from eating and drinking throughout the day. Blessing or challenge. For many working Muslims, this can be a challenge, particularly as work hours in Japan are known to be long and sometimes inflexible. However, many choose to maintain their fasts with discipline, despite the intense work demands. Iftar, breaking the fast. They typically break their fast after work hours, or if possible, they may break their fast at the workplace by bringing food from home or eating at a nearby mosque. Some workplaces that are more open to cultural diversity may provide halal food or offer facilities for breaking the fast. Prayer at the workplace. Prayer is an important part of a Muslim's life, and during Ramadan, this act becomes more routine and meaningful. However, performing prayer at work can be challenging. Prayer room. Some companies or organizations in Japan may not have designated prayer facilities, as most employees don't require a special space for worship. Muslims working in Japan often have to find a quiet, clean place to perform their obligatory prayers. Some mosques or Islamic cultural centers offer prayer spaces, and some workplaces may allow Muslim employees to use an empty room or small space for prayer. Prayer timing. Muslims pray 5 times a day, and during Ramadan, employees must adjust their prayer times around their busy work schedules. The Dur and Asr prayers often coincide with work hours. Most Muslim employees will speak to their superiors or HR to request short breaks for prayer, particularly when working in more flexible environments. Interaction with non-Muslim colleagues. Interactions with non-Muslim colleagues in the workplace are also an important aspect of the life of Muslims and Mu'allaf in Japan. Explaining Ramadan. Many Muslims and Mu'allaf in Japan feel it is important to explain Ramadan to their colleagues, as they may not be familiar with the concept of fasting. This can include explaining why they fast, its spiritual benefits, and how they adjust their daily routines during Ramadan. Mutual understanding. Some non-Muslim colleagues may show understanding by not inviting their Muslim colleagues to lunch or offering other support during fasting. However, there is also a possibility that they may not fully understand the reasons behind fasting, so good communication is essential. Social challenges in the workplace. Other social challenges faced by Muslims and Mu'allaf in Japanese workplaces involve Japanese cultural habits that prioritize togetherness in eating and drinking. Eating together. In Japan, eating together is often a part of social or business activities. Some Muslims may find it difficult to participate in meals that are not halal, such as during business lunches or dinners. In such situations, they may need to explain their dietary preferences or choose not to attend the event. Overtime work. The work culture in Japan is known for demanding overtime or extra working hours. Muslims and Mu'allaf often have to handle this carefully, especially if they need to adjust their iftar time around long working hours. Some may choose to finish work earlier or request permission to break their fast at an appropriate time. Support from companies. Some companies in Japan, especially larger ones that are open to cultural diversity, provide support for Muslim employees. Halal food facilities. Some companies with a significant number of Muslim employees, such as multinational companies or those based in countries with large Muslim populations, may offer halal food in their cafeterias or allow employees to bring food from outside. Flexibility in time. Some companies also offer flexibility in working hours to Muslim employees for prayers, breaking the fast, or engaging in activities related to Ramadan. This shows support for cultural diversity in the workplace, helping to create an inclusive work environment. For Mu'allaf, working in Japan can present a dual challenge, as in addition to adjusting to their job, they are also undergoing a spiritual transformation in their lives. Adjustment to worship. As Mu'allaf, they may be newly accustomed to worship routines like prayer and fasting. This can be a challenge in the workplace, but support from colleagues and supervisors who understand this situation can be very helpful. Social adaptation. Mu'allaf also need to adapt to cultural differences and may feel awkward when explaining their religion to colleagues who do not understand Islam. However, many Mu'allaf feel blessed to have a Muslim community that can provide emotional and spiritual support. The life of Muslims and Mu'allaf in the workplace in Japan during the month of Ramadan can be challenging, but with good communication and support from colleagues and supervisors, they can carry out fasting and prayers smoothly. Although not all companies or workplaces in Japan provide facilities to support worship, many Muslims successfully adjust to Japanese work culture while maintaining their commitment to religion. Support from a workplace that is open to cultural diversity is crucial in creating a harmonious and inclusive work environment. For a Christian who is considering converting to Islam, the month of Ramadan can be a time of profound meaning and spiritual reflection. Ramadan is a very important month in Islam, where Muslims observe fasting, engage in additional acts of worship, and draw closer to Allah. For someone contemplating conversion to Islam, Ramadan can have a powerful influence both spiritually, emotionally, and socially. Here are some potential influences a Christian might experience when considering Islam during Ramadan. Increased faith and spiritual reflection. Ramadan is a blessed time for Muslims, dedicated to deepening faith, purifying oneself from sins, and engaging in increased worship such as prayers, reading the Qur'an, and making dua, supplications. For someone considering conversion to Islam, Ramadan can be the perfect time to experience a spiritual closeness to Allah and deepen one's understanding of Islamic teachings. Enhancing understanding of Islam. Ramadan provides an opportunity to delve deeper into the teachings of Islam, including understanding the significance of fasting, Tarawih prayers, zakat, charity, and other acts of worship. This can be a time of reflection for a potential convert to fully grasp the fundamental principles of Islam. Fasting experience. For someone newly embracing Islam, fasting during Ramadan can be a transformative experience. Fasting is not only about abstaining from food and drink, but it is also a spiritual exercise in self-control, moral improvement, and increased consciousness of Allah. Many individuals feel a stronger connection to God through this experience. Challenges in observing the fasting tradition. For a Christian who is converting to Islam, observing fasting for the first time can be both a physical and mental challenge. Since fasting in Islam involves abstaining from food, drink, and other actions from dawn until sunset, this might feel different and more challenging compared to Christian practices that don't mandate fasting in the same way. Change in eating habits. If one is accustomed to the more flexible eating habits common in Christianity, transitioning to the fasting traditions of Ramadan in Islam may be difficult at first. However, this experience can strengthen both physical and spiritual resilience, as well as provide an opportunity to better understand the significance of sacrifice in the life of a Muslim. Adjustment in lifestyle. Fasting in Islam is not only about refraining from food and drink but also involves self-restraint from other negative behaviors, such as speaking harshly or engaging in bad conduct. For a Christian transitioning to Islam, this can be a practice in transforming one's lifestyle toward a purer and more God-conscious way of living. Social changes and relationships with the community. For someone choosing to convert to Islam, especially during Ramadan, their social relationships with family and friends who still follow Christianity might change. Ramadan is a month when Muslims are typically very active in communal worship, such as congregational prayers at the mosque and breaking the fast together with family or community. Facing religious differences. If someone comes from a Christian family that may not fully understand Islam, they might feel anxious or confused about their decision. However, many individuals view Ramadan as an opportunity to share their journey of seeking the truth, introduce their friends and family to Islam, and explain their decision to embrace the religion. Support from the Muslim community. One of the common experiences for those converting to Islam during Ramadan is the support from the Muslim community. Ramadan is a time when Muslims tend to be very welcoming, inviting new converts to join in worship activities like Tarawih prayers, breaking the fast together, and other social programs. The Muslim community can offer valuable emotional and spiritual support to a new Muslim. Change in mindset and religious perspective. The process of transitioning from Christianity to Islam often involves a shift in how one thinks and understands religious concepts. Ramadan offers a deeper perspective on the meaning of life, devotion to God, and the purpose of existence in Islam. Understanding the essence of worship in Islam. A new convert entering Ramadan will learn that worship in Islam is not limited to religious rituals alone but encompasses all aspects of daily life, from how to interact with others to maintaining cleanliness and behaving morally. Understanding of God, Allah, and Prophet Muhammad. Ramadan also provides an opportunity to better understand the concept of divinity in Islam, Tawhid, and to develop a personal relationship with Allah. For someone transitioning from Christianity to Islam, this is a time of peace and enlightenment about their understanding of God and the role of Prophet Muhammad as a messenger. For many people who have recently embraced Islam, the month of Ramadan brings a deep sense of peace and inner tranquility. They experience the immense blessings of observing the fast, as well as a feeling of closeness to Allah, who provides them with guidance and strength in their spiritual journey. Soothing worship experience. Many people feel that fasting and worship during the month of Ramadan give them the inner peace they have been searching for. This can be a turning point for someone who previously felt spiritual emptiness in their former religion and finds true peace in Islam. Sense of closeness to Allah. For a Christian who wishes to convert to Islam, Ramadan provides an opportunity to experience a deeper closeness to Allah through prayer, fasting, and spiritual reflection. For a Christian who wants to embrace Islam, the month of Ramadan can be a time filled with both challenges and enlightenment. Ramadan is not just about fasting, it is also about deepening faith, transforming one's lifestyle, and strengthening the bond with Allah. For many people who become Muslims, Ramadan marks a powerful starting point in their spiritual journey, where they find a deeper meaning in life and feel closer to God.